Hi, this is Lisa DeMonte with mylegal.com. Today is Tuesday, December 14th, 2010, and we're here in Washington, D.C. at Dickstein Shapiro with our guest, Deborah Epstein Henry. Welcome, Deborah.
Welcome. Thank you so much. I'm delighted to be here.
We're glad to have you. Deborah is a nationally recognized expert on workplace restructuring, talent management, work-life balance, and the retention and promotion of lawyers with a focus on women. She's the author of a new book entitled Law and Reorder, Legal Industry Solutions for Restructure, Retention, Promotion, and Work-Life Balance. Debbie is a sought-after consultant and speaker before audiences, including law firm management, general counsels, lawyers, professionals outside of law, and students, as well as women lawyers, women professionals, and law student groups. A former practicing litigator, Debbie is the president of FlexTime Lawyers, LLC, a national consulting firm she founded in the late 1990s. Debbie, again, we're really excited to have you, and congratulations on the publication of your new book.
Thank you so much.
Debbie, on a personal level, why did you write this book, and how did you get involved in the issues that are the subject of the book?
Sure, and thank you again for having me. Really, the impetus for writing the book started with a personal evolution. I was a former practicing litigator, first in New York and then in Philadelphia. And in the late 90s, I had 2 kids at the time, and I found I was really challenged by the prospect of being successful as a lawyer and also playing an integral role in my kids' lives. And I found that particularly when I spoke to other professional women, they were struggling with the same thing. So what I did was I emailed 6 lawyers who were working a reduced hour schedule like me at the time in Philadelphia, and I said, I'm starting a brown bag lunch group for lawyers interested in work-life issues. Forward the invite to anyone you know who's interested. Within a few days, 150 lawyers emailed me back in response, which was truly amazing to me. And what I'd realized is that I'd struck a nerve and I wasn't alone. And what changed over the past 12 years since I sent that email is that the demographic changed, who was voicing concern and need to change the industry. Then it was really a small group of stigmatized moms who I was a part of. And what has evolved over the past 12 years is it's turned into a national conversation where all lawyers, men, women, baby boomers, Gen Y, Gen X, all lawyers are looking to reinvent how work is done. So I really felt personally motivated to tell this story and to really report on trends in the industry and give advice about the future of the profession, knowing that now it's in everyone's interest. It's not just this small group of moms who we were.
Debbie, you've really hit a chord with many of us professional women out there, both in the law as well as in other industries. So you've told us about the personal reasons for writing the book. What about the professional reasons for writing the book?
Sure. There were several motivations to write the book on a professional level, and one was a recognition that there are a lot of interesting innovations going on in the profession. There are new models of practicing law. There are new law firms that have evolved. There are new types of career paths that have evolved. And in our profession, which is very traditional, all of those interesting innovations have generally been viewed as sideshows, ancillary things that are exceptions. And what I wanted to do in this book is make the exception the rule. Tell all those sideline stories so that we can really look at reinventing the career paths of lawyers as well as the models of legal practice, and not see all of those career paths that are different or all of those alternative models as alternative, but instead make the alternative the new mainstream. So that was one significant motivation. Another was an increasing recognition of the lack of alignment of what I see as the 3 constituents in the profession: the law firm, the client, and the lawyer. What seems to be in place in the profession is that each of these 3 constituents are essentially working in a vacuum. And for our profession to be that much more productive and profitable, and for lawyers in the profession to be more satisfied, we need to get an alignment in place between these 3 constituents. So that was really, on the employer end, those were really my 2 principal motivations for writing the book. I also looked at the importance of writing the book from an individual lawyer or law student perspective. And in my mind, the lawyer and law student really needed better advice about how to navigate in today's market. And so that was another impetus to write the book on a professional level.
Debbie, so who should read the book? Who was it written for?
Well, that's an important question. The book is really written for a multitude of audiences. I've divided the book into part 1 and part 2. Part 1 is written for legal employers, mostly law firm lawyers and in-house legal department lawyers. And it's really doing two things in part 1. One is reporting on the trends in the industry, and the second is giving advice about restructure and how to reinvent the workplace in the in-house legal department and in the law firm context. So it's really written for legal employers, that first part of the book. The second part of the book is the complement to that. It's written for law students and lawyers, and it's really, as I said before, sort of advice about how to navigate your way effectively in the new marketplace. And what struck me and what was important to me in writing the book is that I've read so many management books that focus exclusively on management structure and the operations of a business. But they exclude and ignore the talent pool and how the talent pool will interplay in that management structure. Conversely, I've read many how-to books about advice in how to navigate your way, but they exclude any discussion of the context in which lawyers are supposed to navigate their way. So what I really wanted to do in this book is tell both sides of the story. Provide advice to legal employers about how to restructure and what trends are going on in the industry that are interesting, and provide advice to lawyers and law students about how to navigate your way, but also encourage each of those constituents to read the second and other part of the book so that they can know how to design a workplace, let's say, with the talent pool in mind, and how individual lawyers and law students can learn how they can navigate their way in the environment in which they need to do that.
So really a 360 view to help professionals be successful and to help law firms help those professionals be successful in this space.
Absolutely, and that, once again, as I mentioned before, an impetus for writing the book was bringing that alignment in place. Part of bringing that alignment in place between the three constituents in the profession is getting each constituent to understand what are the drivers behind their motivations, what are the pressures that each of those constituents face, and how can we build better consensus between these three parties.
And in the end, the client benefits.
Well, hopefully in the end everyone benefits, not just the client, but that the lawyer becomes more satisfied and becomes more productive, that the law firm becomes more profitable but also a more hospitable place to work, and that the client gets the predictability and fees that they want, but also the high quality service that they want.
Debbie, we're going to take a quick break, and when we come back, we're going to talk about the themes in the book. So stand by. Thanks.
Thank you.